Oh my gosh, good morning. Good morning. Let's get after it, baby. I think we're ready to rock and roll, baby. Come on now. Good morning, good morning. It's good to see you. What are you doing here? Oh my gosh, good morning. Bright and early, ready to get after it. If you're new here, my name is Wet Willie. We go live all the time and we learn how to buy assets that cash flow. We're going to walk through a lot of that today. So if you're new here, good morning. It's good to see you. We're going to get after it and cover a lot of ground on a lot of things. We had a lot of questions on some stuff we didn't get to yesterday, from foreclosures to laundromats to assumable mortgages, things like that. But if you're new here, my name is Will. We learn how to buy assets that cash flow. I'm going to walk through quite a few things today, from tax savings, what's the right way to start my financial planning journey, my financial journey, getting everything set up the right way so that you're in a good financial position. We're going to cover a lot of ground on a lot of things. And if you're new here, good morning. We go live all the time. If you want to hang out, you are in the right spot. Let's get after it. Let's get rolling. Let's get grooving, baby. So good morning. Good to see you. The name of the game is that we buy assets that cash flow. You don't have to wait until you're 157 years old to retire. A lot of people believe that time is connected to it and that you got to wait until you're 70 years old to retire. But it's very simple, and I'm going to walk you through what we do, the process that we practice of how you can get to where you want to go. And it's quite simple in the beginning. The same principle that you learn everywhere is you got to pay yourself first. You got to prioritize you. So you take a portion of everything that you earn and you save and you stash that cash. You get that cash ready. You're going to stack it and stack it and stack it. There's a framework that I'll get to in a little bit that teaches you the 5 parts of critical thinking analysis on where I'm going to save and invest my money. It's not rocket surgery. We're going to learn it together. But you take your cash, you save and stack that cash. Safety, liquidity, rate of return, taxation, fees. You're going to evaluate those questions. You're going to stack it and save it. But then what we do that's different is that we focus our attention on assets. We want to find an asset that produces profit. This can be, good morning, Russ. Good morning, baby. What up, baby? Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Bright and early. Let's get after it. So we want to look at assets. The name of the game is that we evaluate assets that cash flow. This is going to be rental properties, multifamilies, laundromats, self-storage, parking lots, RV parks, whatever you're into. We want to evaluate the asset. If it produces profit, and I like it, I'm then going to take the cash that I've been saving from steps 1 and 2, use that to go buy an asset. That asset kicks off profit. Rinse, wash, repeat the process over and over and over again. So I'm going to show you a little bit more on that. But if you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that cash flow. If you want to, good morning. What's up, Oscar? Good baby. What's up? Good baby. Good morning, baby. Let's get after this. I'm going to walk you through a couple of different things. If you've never seen me before and you want to hang out with us every day, come up and tap on the follow button. It's somewhere in the top corner. But let's go over here. Let's walk through a couple of different things. Really the overall philosophy of our journey, if you want to get retired without waiting until you expire, is that we go out there and we buy assets. So an asset, by definition, is something that produces profit. That does. Good morning, Suhail. Good morning. Gerardo's road trip. Good morning. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. Where's everybody tuning in from this morning? Let me know in the chat. Before I get into this, where are you tuning in from? My name is Will. I'm in Texas. We've got Congresswoman Suhail from Ohio. Good morning, Congressman. What's up? What's up, Honda? Good morning. What state are we in? Let me know in the chat. We're going to get to foreclosures and other assets in a minute, and we'll look in your state. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Are you on the road right now, road tripping? Or is that where you're at? Highlight of my day. Good morning, Dana. We need to get more highlights. Good morning. Good morning, sunshine. Dana, what are we working on today? What are we on, the treadmill? The elliptical? We're getting the hips in? You tell me. California, good morning. Good morning. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got California, we got Minnesota. Yes, let's go. Road trip all day. Good morning, Philip in Tennessee. Tennessee's beautiful. I drove straight through Memphis. Stay low. Don't take one. And then East Tennessee was beautiful. The Appalachian Mountains were amazing. I just got back. It was awesome. Tennessee, road trip all day. Love it. Awesome. All right, so let's get into this. Let's go through a couple of things. Really, this is the core philosophy. And then in just a minute, good morning. Good morning. And then in just a second, I'm going to walk you through the one lesson I would teach my kids about money. If of all the nonsense that I've got stuck in my brain, what is the one thing that I would teach my kids when it comes to money concepts? Good morning. Good morning, Catter. Then I'm going to show you that in just a second. But let's get to the core philosophy. If you want to retire without waiting until you're 1,000 years old, what we do is we buy assets that produce passive income. So by definition, an asset doesn't need us to be there. If I buy an RV park, I don't have to be there for somebody to utilize it and pay me money for it. They can park their RV, they can hook up the electrical, the water, all the stuff. They'll pay me money. I don't have to be there. Self-storage. I don't have to be there for them to store their stuff in a garage and lock it up. As long as I provide the garage, the storage facility for them to put their stuff in it, lock it up, and keep it safe and secure, I don't have to be there. I want to disconnect time from money. If you never have the ability, if you never learn this skill, and it's just a skill, and all skills can be learned. If you never learn the skill of disconnecting time from money, you're going to work your entire life. Does that make sense? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. This is like a core foundational money mindset mentality. Type 1 for yes, that makes sense. Type 2 for no, I have no idea what's going on. We've got to disconnect time from money. We've got to learn that as skill. One, what's up, Philip? Trella, good morning. Hell yeah, good morning. Derek, 1, awesome. We've got to learn that there's a skill set that we can learn. And how do I disconnect that? Variety of different ways to do that. We're going to go through all of the ways. But step number 1 is we buy assets. An asset that produces passive income. There's a step before that if you're not quite ready for that of how do I earn income, how do I grow my income, how do I maximize my tax savings, save more money, all kinds of stuff that we'll get to. But assets that produce passive income, I've disconnected time. So if I buy a rental property, if I buy a storage unit, if I buy a car wash, if I buy a laundromat, it produces the income, not me. And if I do this enough, when the passive income is greater than or equal to my expenses, I can stop working. That's right, Sue. Let's go. That's the entire game. So I buy assets. Those assets produce passive income greater than expenses. You're free. Let's do a pop quiz. Let's say hypothetically that your personal living expenses are $5,000 a month. If I have an asset, let's say storage, that gives me $1,000 a month, in the chat, let me know. In the comments below, let me know. How many assets do I need until I'm financially free? Let's fill in the blank. I've got an asset, gives me $1,000 a month in profit. My personal living expenses are $5,000 a month. How many do I need? Sue Hale, 5. Everybody type 5 in the chat. That's the game. How you get to your financial destination without waiting until you're old is you disconnect time. Time is not in this formula. Traditional financial planning, the financial industry wants you to believe that you must save your money, you must invest and get compound interest, and then, keyword, wait until you're old. Cinco, this is the game. You don't ask yourself the question, how many years until I can retire? We ask ourselves the question, how many assets must I acquire? I'm going to walk through a little bit of this right now, but if you're new here, good morning. My name is Will. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that produce profit. We're bright and early for data, so we're going to get after it and get rocking. Let's go over here. Let me show you why this is so important to understand. Let's walk through this. So this is an article published by Yahoo Finance, and I think it's really interesting. Let's take a look here. Yeah, this is an article. Thank you. You're so welcome. You are so welcome. You deserve it. So let's go to Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance drops this article. They say, is $3 million enough money to retire comfortably? What do you think? What do you think? Yes or no? Type Y in the chat for yes. If you had $3 million in your retirement account of choice, is that comfortable retirement? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Is $3 million enough money to comfortably retire at age 65? Hell no! Come on, Sue. No way. What do you think? Yes? No? You looked at your retirement accounts. You saw $3 million. You're like, oh, I can be comfortable now. Yes? No? Yes? No? What do we think? There's no right or wrong answer. What do you think, though? Captain, I thought your name was Captain Olives first. I was like, that's awesome. Captain Olivia is also awesome. Not even close. Baruccini. Baruccini. Not even close. It depends on your lifestyle. No, I need 5 million. Some families are more expensive than others. It depends on what kind of life. Absolutely, Arturo. Absolutely. So let's go through the math. Step number 1 to figure out if, we're going to answer this question together. Step number 1 to determine if $3 million is enough money to comfortably retire, we got to figure out what it takes to get to the $3 million. So let's walk through the math. There's only 3 variables when it comes to financial planning. Everybody type 3 in the comments. And if you're new here, by the way, my name is Will. I go live all the time. If you want to hang out with us every day, just tap on the follow button. It's somewhere at the top of the screen. Just tap follow. We go live all the time. There's only 3 variables when it comes to financial planning. Number 1 is how much money do you save? It's a portion of everything that you earn. You've got to save and stack. Save and stack. Number 2, it's the interest rate that you earn. We'll talk about this more. I live in New York. Expensive, yeah. It's how much interest you earn. You take your money and you buy stocks, Microsoft, Google, Tessie, whatever you're buying. you're going to get a rate of return. You're going to take that rate of return, you're going to put it against your money. That's compound interest. Number 3, and this is the booger, Anna. You know it 100%, Anna. The third one is time. It doesn't matter how much you save and invest. It doesn't matter what interest rate you get. Compound interest doesn't compound without time. That's an issue. So let's take those 3 variables and let's figure out the math on what it takes to get to $3 million. Now, I don't know how well you can see it from your side, but here's what it takes. In order to get to $3 million, down here, $3 million, you must save and invest $30,000 a year. What did he say? $30,000 per year. Oh! How many of you are saving $30,000 or more per year? Type 1 for yes. How many of you are like, well, I'm working on it, and you're below it? Type 2 for no. $30,000 a year, what is that, $2,500 a month? I think that's $2,500 per month. How many of you are saving that, investing that? Type 1 for yes. Type 2 for I'm working on it. I know, Sue, right? So step number 1 to get to a $3 million retirement account is you must invest $2,500 a month. Step number 2 is you must do that for 30 years consistently. Maybe you just started investing $30,000 a year. Hopefully you do it for 30 years consistently because that's what it takes. You can't go 15 years, take a year off, and then do another 15 years. That messes the entire formula up. That's how compound interest works. So great to see you. Good morning, Maria. I learned about you from Mara. Oh my gosh, Maria, so good to see you. Good morning, sunshine. It's good to see you. Where are you at? Are you in New York? Good morning, Maria. Good morning. My name is Will. I'm in Texas, in case anybody else was... Awesome. Laguna Beach. Oh, let's go. Oh my gosh. Give Mara my best. Is she still in Europe? Love her. She's awesome. So $30,000 a year. Why retirement planning doesn't work. Why having a $3 million retirement account is not going to work out the way you think it's going to work out. Continuing on. Yes, let's go. So $30,000 a year is what you must invest for 30 years consistently, and you must get a 7% rate of return. The average investor, according to Dalbar studies, does about 5.3%. We're not going to talk about that. But let's just say you get $3 million. Congratulations. Now you have a $3 million retirement account. Let's go through why this is not going to be what you think it's going to be. So let me flip over. Let's go to the whiteboard. Let me show you. Let's walk through the math. Now that we understand the math, let's go to the whiteboard. Good morning. Hold on. Let me clean some of this up. Boop, boop, boop. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so come here. Check this out. Why $3 million is not going to be what you think it's going to be. Let's clean up the board, and let's go through this together. So now that we all understand, everybody type 3 in the chat. Just remember 3 million. Type 3 in the comments. Is $3 million enough money to comfortably retire? We're going to walk through this together, and let me show you why it ain't going to work out the way you think it's going to work out. Can I adjust this guy? All right, so how do I get to $3 million? If I want to get to a $3 million retirement account, is that going to be enough money for me? On early, good morning, Mateo. Good morning, sunshine. Bright and early for Dana. So 3 variables: time, money, interest. How much time do we need to invest? What they say is 30 years. How much money do I need to invest? Crazy, $30,000 per year. $30,000 per year. What interest rate do we get? 7%. If you do these 3 things, congratulations, you now have a $3 million retirement account. But let's back up a little bit. In order to invest $30,000 a year, you must make more money than $30,000 a year. So let's start understanding financial planning and what they're teaching you. One of the first concepts they teach you is a rule of thumb. It's called the 10% rule. So you take a portion of what you earn, 10%, and you need to save and invest that since you started working. So if 10% of my income represents $30,000 a year, what is my income? Let me know in the comments. What does my income need to be if 10% is $30,000? Let me know in the comments. We're not going to go too deep in math today, but 10%. If I'm saving and investing $30,000, 300 grand, Eli. Kimmy, 300 grand. Setting in Canada. Settling, good morning, 300,000. So your income needs to be $300,000 if you're saving and investing. Ashley, absolutely. Oscar, absolutely. To save 10%, $30,000 a year. So step number 1 to get into a $3 million retirement account is you must earn $300,000 a year. Oh! And it's not like towards the tail end of your career. You know, like the peak earning years for most people is 50 to 60. Don't forget taxes, 100%. 50 to 60. No, you have to do this for 30 years straight. $30,000 a year is what you're investing for 30 years straight. It means you have to make $300,000. That is insane. But don't worry, it gets insaner. You ready? Check this out. So congratulations, you earned $300,000 a year. You're saving 10% of that. You get for 30 years straight, 7% interest. Now you've got a $3 million retirement account. Congratulations, you did it. You pulled it off. You did the impossible, the impossible, and you've got it done. Or did you? Check this out. So now you get to retirement. Let's talk about another rule of thumb. Now this is a very hotly debated rule of thumb in the financial world, and it's to help you figure out how much money you can take out of your retirement account without outliving your money. So if I've got a $3 million retirement account, the hotly debated rule of thumb is called the 4% rule. The idea is that if I take out 4% of my account balance, I won't outlive my money. So let's go through this, Eli. If I take out 4% of $3 million, how much money am I taking out per year? Anybody good with math? 4% of $3 million is how much? Does anybody know? We're trying to figure out, in case you're new here, Yahoo Finance, I showed you on the other screen, dropped an article asking, is $3 million enough to comfortably retire? So what we're doing right now is we're going to figure out, is $3 million enough to comfortably retire? $120,000 a year. So in retirement income, you're going to be able to have $120,000 in retirement income. You've got a $3 million retirement account. You withdraw 4%, you've got $120,000 a year. Yeah, awesome, dude. Not as good as you think it is. Check this out. I don't know if you've already noticed this. You might have been paying attention to this. You had to earn $300,000 a year in order to save and invest enough money to get to $3 million. When you get to $3 million, you can't take out about more than 120 grand, otherwise you outlive your money. What does all this mean? What this means is, even though you were a successful investor and saver, you have to reduce your lifestyle in retirement. How low do you have to go, boss? 40%. So if you're living on $1,000 right now, every $1,000 you spend while you're working in retirement, you can only spend $400. How many of you want to reduce your lifestyle this dramatically? Type Y in the chat for yes, type N in the chat for no. Even a $3 million retirement account requires you to reduce your lifestyle. Oh! Sell your house and car. Live under the bridge. How many of you want to reduce your lifestyle that low? Every $1,000 that you spend today, you can only spend $400. Why? Because you can't outlive your money. If I take out $300,000 from a $3 million retirement account, theoretically, I might only last 10 years in retirement. There's a lot of other math to that, but that's the ballpark idea. Who only gets 7% on their investments? The average investor, according to Dalbar Financial Studies, which is the gold standard, returns 5.3%. 7% is generous. Congratulations on you getting 12%, Captain. That's not how it works out. Trust me, when I show you the stats, it's going to get way worse. But will you have way less bills? Let's find out. Step number 1, all retirement plans require you to reduce your lifestyle. Everybody type R in the chat for reduce. In the comments, we're kind of going in 12 different directions. The principle we're talking about is no matter how much money you save and invest, you still have to reduce your lifestyle. Type R for reduce. No matter how much you earn in interest, you still have to reduce. No matter how much you save up, you still have to reduce. No matter, got it? That's the principle I need you to understand. But don't worry, it's going to get way worse for you. You ready? If you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time, and I teach you how, on average, we retire people in 7 years or less. I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I teach for free. If you want to hang out with us, just come up here and tap on the follow button. I go live all the time. We go live bright and early for Dana now, so good morning to you. $3 million, but oh, wait. It gets worse. Are you ready for this? Oh, check this out. Let's talk about inflation. How many of you have experienced gasoline prices going up? Type G in the chat for gas. Do you pay taxes? We're going to get to taxes. Do you pay taxes? You tell me. We're going to get to that. Type G in the chat for gas. How many of you noticed grocery prices getting more expensive? Type G in the chat for groceries. But it makes for a great workout. Let's go. Let's go, Dana. Let's go. Groceries, gasoline, all kinds of stuff. Rent prices, mortgage, all kinds of stuff. Interest rates, escrow, property taxes. That's inflation. Inflation is the cost of goods getting more expensive. So you spend the same amount of money at the grocery store, but your shopping cart gets smaller. You don't take as much food home. Everything. It's crazy, right? Watch this. So let's pretend that you sat down with your financial advisor. Not true. On $3 million, I can generate $300,000 a year in covered calls and never touch principal. Okay, Tucker. So, 1996, you sit down with your financial advisor. And you say, Mr. Financial Advisor, I want to retire. Mr. Financial Advisor, Mrs. Financial Advisor says, how much money do you want in purchasing power? Everybody in chat, type PP. Type PP. PP. Purchasing power. How much do I want to buy? And you say, I want to have purchasing power of $100,000. Mr. and Mrs. Financial Advisor says, okay, cool. Come back to me in 30 years. 30 years time go by. It's now 2026. Did you know 30 years ago was 1996? Oh! Deep breath. We're going to be okay. We're going to be all right. 30 years ago was 96. What it do? Good morning, Carl. 30 years go by. Does anybody have any estimations on how much money you need to spend in 2026 to buy the same $100,000 of stuff? Give me some guesses. Do you think I need $150,000 to buy the same stuff? Do I need $200,000? Because everything gets more expensive, I have to spend more money to buy the same stuff. What do you think it takes? Irene, will Social Security also get reduced? Social Security's having a lot of hard times. Social Security's having a lot of hard times. We'll get to that. We'll talk about Social Security Administration. They're running out of money. There's not enough incentive, not enough benefits. People are living longer. All kinds of stuff. There's a lot of that. According to inflation, yeah, 300,000, 1.2 million. Is that what that says? Good morning. So if it's 96 and you sit down with your financial advisor, I want to have $100,000 of purchasing power. 30 years go by. In 2026, according to inflation, you're going to need about $212,000 to buy the same $100,000 of stuff. So if Ashley, great guess. If I go to the grocery store and I spend $100 in 1996, my grocery basket is full. 30 years go by, I spend the same $100, same grocery basket, much less groceries in the grocery basket. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody with me and understand that concept? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. So you need more money to buy the same grocery basket. The same groceries, you have to spend more money. That's inflation. Oh! So what does that mean? So when you get to your retirement destination, you've got a $3 million retirement account. You're withdrawing $120,000 a year. You've already had to reduce your lifestyle from a $300,000 lifestyle to a $120,000 lifestyle. Don't worry, it gets worse. That's not your actual purchasing power. The $120,000 doesn't buy you $120,000 worth of stuff. It's only about half. So your actual purchasing power is $60,000. Oh! Everybody with me on this? Don't worry, it gets worse. What do you mean it gets worse? I can't take it anymore. Baby, you can take it. I'll talk you through it. Listen. The most overwhelmingly popular retirement plan in the United States is a tax deferral plan, which means people are kicking the can down the road. They are delaying their tax bill to some point in the future when they no longer have active income, and then they pay taxes off of the money that they saved. So 401ks, IRAs, tax deferral strategies. I'm scared. Oh! So when you take out your $120,000, so because it's the most popular, we're going to use that as our example. When you withdraw $120,000 a year from your retirement account, you're going to have to pay income taxes on that money. Let's take like a 20% tax rate. You withdraw $120,000 a year, but it only puts $96,000 in your pocket because you had to pay tax on it. But that $96,000 doesn't buy you $96,000 worth of stuff. It buys you about half. Your actual purchasing power in retirement on a $3 million retirement account is not $60,000, it's $48,000 a year. How many of you think $3 million is enough money to comfortably retire? Type Y in the chat for yes. $48,000 a year is all I'm going to need. Type in for no. Y for yes. 3 million is plenty. 48,000 purchasing power. Type in the chat for no way, Jose. Soup and cat food for you. Soup and cat food. No way, Jose. Retirement planning does not work out the way you think it works out. Traditional financial planning was not built for you. This is not my idea. The retirement industry is broken. The financial industry just wants to sell you more financial products, so on and so forth. There's an old book written in 1940. It's called Where Are the Customers' Yachts? And it talks about Wall Street. Everybody that works on Wall Street has yachts, but their customers do not have yachts. Why is that? It's because it wasn't designed for us. It wasn't designed that way. So what do we do that's different? Come here, check this out. Let's walk over here. If you're new here, by the way, my name is Will. I go live all the time, and we learn how to buy assets that cash flow. I'm going to walk you through some of that right now. But will you let me know in the comments right now where you're tuning in from? My name is Will. I'm in Texas. Good morning. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We go live all the time. I'm going to walk you through a really quick concept of what we talk about, and I'm going to show you how we play the game. Houston, good morning. Let's go. Miami, OH, LA. Is that Los Angeles or Louisiana? I always think it's Los Angeles, but one time I messed that up. Good morning, Hannah in Tennessee, Montana, New York, Virginia, Los Angeles, California, Grenada. Let's go. San Antonio, Texas. I'll be in San Antonio soon. Jamaica, Qatar, Rockwall. What's up, Rockwall, Texas? Good morning, Minneapolis. Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Flower Mound, another Texas in here. New York, good morning, Irene on a mission. Los Angeles, love it. So here's what we talk about. Here's the name of the game. Good morning, Kenya. Good morning, Michigan. Good morning, San Antonio. Good morning, Rosie. Good morning, Phoenix. If you're new here, my name is Will. If you want to hang out with us every day and learn basic and advanced concepts of wealth and wealth building, just come up here and tap on the follow button. I go live all the time. Good morning, Roanoke. El Paso, South Africa, San Diego, good to see you. Here's the name of the game. No matter what country you live in, this is how we get financially free without waiting until we're old. We go out there and we buy assets. An asset, by definition, is something that puts money in your pocket that doesn't require your time. Good morning, Cortland, Ohio. Good morning, Mike Ferry. So we buy assets. Assets produce profit. In the comments below, let's brainstorm together. What are examples of assets? Rental property. I'll kick us off. I can buy rental properties. What are examples? Good morning, Paula. Speaking of rental properties, Paula owns like half of Mississippi. I'm on a boat. Good morning. She's crushing it with rental properties inside of Mississippi. What are some examples of other asset types? They produce income that doesn't require us to be there. That's called passive income. I can do vending machines. What are other assets that I could buy that produce income that don't require me to be there? Any ideas? Laundry? I could buy a laundromat. Yep, laundry. We'll evaluate some of these in just a minute. Yo, what's up, Jimmy the Fish? A car wash, real estate, land, stocks. How would a stock give me income? Call it dividends. Generally in stock, you're either going to buy growth, you're going to buy income, ice vending machines, digital products for sure. Let's just categorize that as business. Business, dividends, absolutely, for sure. Yacht rentals, let's go. Car rentals, Turo. So these are assets that don't require us to be there. Porta potties, porta johns, absolutely. There's a lot of things that you could do. We buy assets. Those assets provide the value to the marketplace, not us. So I've disconnected time from money. When we buy assets that produce passive income, if you want to retire without waiting to expire, the passive income, when greater than or equal to your expenses, you're financially free. So if my personal living expenses, hypothetically, are $5,000 a month, and I buy an asset that gives me $1,000 a month, in the chat, let me know, how many assets do I need until I'm financially free? How many would I need? In this example, let's say I'm buying car washes, and every car wash I buy gives me $1,000 in profit. If my personal living expenses, rent, mortgage, groceries, utilities, car payments, are $5,000 a month, how many assets do I need? That's it. It doesn't take your entire life to do that. Instead of asking yourself the question, how many years until I can retire, we ask ourselves the question, how many assets must I acquire? You don't have to trade your entire life for some perceived financial future. We just buy income now. Let me teach this to you in a different way. Okay, so really quick, there's only 3 variables to financial planning. You would need 4 more if you have 1, 100%. Everybody type 3 in the chat. There's only 3 variables to financial planning. This is why the game's completely broken. Good morning, Dana. How's our workout? I need an update. How's our workout, Dana? There's only 3 variables. Everybody type 3. Arturo. Mi amigo. 3 variables. So what they teach you is that you take your money. That's variable number 1. You invest it in something, whatever, and then you're going to get an interest rate from that. ETF, stocks, whatever. You're going to get an interest rate out of that. Then you trade time, and this is the booger, and this is what it looks like. So it does something like this. This is you. You take your money, you save and invest, you chase an interest rate. Pop quiz. If I invest in Microsoft or Google or Tessie or whatever, if I'm investing in stocks in a company that's publicly traded, and I get a rate of return of, say, 7%. I'm doing the math, and I'm going, man, I want to retire a lot sooner than that. Can I call them up, yes or no, type Y for yes, type N for no. Can I call up Mr. Microsoft and say, hey, can you give me a higher interest rate? I'm trying to retire sooner. Yes or no? Hey, Mr. Stock ETF that I purchased, I want a higher interest rate. Hey, Mr. Bonds, I want a higher interest rate. Hey, Mr. Government that sets the bond rate, I want a higher interest rate. Yes or no? Can I call them up and tell them to turn up the dial? I'm trying to retire sooner. It depends. Hey, Mr. Google, I got a 7% return. Can you give me 25? It doesn't depend. The answer is no. You cannot. No. So what this means is, if there's only 3 variables to financial planning, and one of the major contributing variables to me getting to my financial destination is outside of my control, that means I don't know when I'm going to retire. That's called hope. Hope in a plan, that's not a real plan. That's not a real strategy. I hope that it works out. It's outside of my control. That's a problem. We'll come back to that later on. But then you take your money, you stack your cash, you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait, and hopefully compound interest kicks in. And then eventually, after enough time, you've got enough cash and you can retire. But let's break this down a little bit deeper, and then I'll show you the one change that we make on how you get to your financial destination without waiting until you're old. If I'm saving and stacking my cash, what is the number one, above all else, reason that we have retirement plans? Let me know in the comments. Why do we have a 401k, an IRA, a Roth IRA? If you're north of the border and you're in Canada, TFSA, RSP. What is the number one point? Freedom. Define that a little bit more. How do I buy my freedom with a retirement account? Retirement. How do I like live in retirement? What is this thing going to give me? Fazzy, just get to the point, Jesus. The point is you've been broke for 40 years. You need me to fix you in 40 seconds. The point is you need some patience. Go get a cup of coffee, grab your Bible, and come back. The point is income. The entire point of a retirement plan is to get income. If you don't like my music, just scroll. See you later. I don't need you. Love you. The entire point of a retirement plan is to produce income. Correct? Everybody with me on this? Yes or no? The entire point of a SEP, a self-employed plan, or a Roth IRA, or an IRA, or a 401k, or a 403b, or whatever you're doing, the entire point is income. Yes or no? Yes? The entire point is financial freedom. How do you buy financial freedom? With income. If the entire point is income, then what do? They tell you to wait. Here's the one change we make. Instead of waiting until you're old to get income, we buy assets now. Those assets produce income now. So watch this. In the beginning, I don't have an asset, I don't have extra income. It's just me and my job or me and my business. I take a portion of my income from my job or a portion of my profit from my business, and I save and stack that cash. And I just have one stream of income. Then I stack my cash, and I go out there and I buy an asset. That asset produces income. In the comments, how many streams of income do I have now? Let's get some color on the screen. How many streams of income do I have now? How many? How many do I have? If we're colorblind, I'm sorry. Green plus green equals 2 green. Now, I'm no rocket surgeon, but how much faster do you get to your financial destination if you're traveling twice the speed? Instead of doing 35 miles per hour, whatever that is in kilometers, I'm using freedom units, thank you very much. If I'm traveling 35 miles per hour and I increase my speed to 70 miles per hour, how much faster do I get to my destination? Let me know in the comments. How do I break the feeling of being scared and also finding the right deal? Ooh, Fritz, great question. Hold on, let me pin this. It won't let me pin it for some reason. How much faster do I get to my financial destination? Twice as fast. Ding, 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 ding. I'll show you the math in just a second. Now I have more cash to buy my next asset. Or I have more investable cash. If investing and buying stocks and ETFs and that stuff is your kind of thing, cool. Now you have more money to do it. So what do? That's assuming your asset is producing the same as your income. It's not feasible and realistic always. Then don't buy that asset. If I find an asset and it's going to earn me $1 per month, guess what we do? Pass, 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 until I find the deal that I want to buy. Glad we could figure that one out for you. So I go buy another asset. I got 2 streams of income. 2 streams of income is better than 1 stream of income. Then I buy another asset, and another asset, another asset. Let's wrap this point and let's get to Fritz's question. You make it look so easy. Okay, I love you. We're having some, this is normal. This is normal. We're reaching our level of like comfort zone, and it's getting a little shaky for some of us. That's totally normal. Everybody hear me on this. Do you hear me? Type 1 for yes if you hear if my microphone's working. Type 1 in the chat. Anthony, I believe that's your name. Great point. I'm not knocking you. I love you. The comment was, you make it look so easy. You have to understand that in nature, there is no such thing as easy or difficult. There's no such thing as easy or hard. It doesn't exist. You are either familiar with something or you are unfamiliar with something. When you say, I make it look easy, what you're seeing is my familiarity, me doing this for 20 years. That's all you're seeing. It's not easy. I'm familiar with it. Anthony, I could jump into your world and you would demonstrate something that you have skill in, that I have no skill in. And I would say to you, you make it look so easy. You go, dude, this isn't easy. I've just been doing this my entire life. Does this make sense? There is no such thing. Nature does not have easy or hard. You know what I'm saying? Anthony, love you. I'm glad you said that. There's no such thing as easy or hard. There's familiar or unfamiliar. That's it. So when I make it look easy, I've just been doing this a long time. And then, there's all kinds of other stuff to that. But great point, Anthony. I'm so glad you said that. How many of you got something out of that one piece and you're grateful to Anthony for asking that question? Type A in the chat for Anthony. Give him some love. Love that. And then Fritz, I'm going to get to you. We're going to talk about fear in just a second. We'll talk about that. But let's kind of wrap this point. I'm going to conclude this. We'll move on to answer some more questions. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, Anthony, get some love, baby, because that was a great point. Great question. Awesome. Let's go, Dana. How's that workout, girl? So let's continue on with this train of thought. Let's wrap this point in 30 seconds or less. Who do you think is more likely to get to their financial destination? We've got traditional financial planning over here. It's just you and your job or your business, stacking your cash, saving and saving and saving. 1 stream of income versus your 1 goal. Or the person with 4 assets and their stream of income. Same job, same business. Type 5 in the chat if you think it's this person that's more likely to get to their goal. Type 1 in the chat if you think it's this person. Who's more likely to get to their financial destination? Type 1 for 1, type 5 for 5. This person has 5 streams of income. This person has 1. Or if you're a Dana, you have 30 plus streams of income because you own half of Oklahoma. Let's go. That's all we talk about over and over and over again. We buy assets that produce profit. We take the profit and accelerate. That's the game. Depends. That's what you're wearing in your picture for sure. 5. Of course, it does not depend. It's math. We'll get to the math in just a little bit, but let's address some of the questions. Okay, let me cover the math really quickly. It's not rocket surgery. This is math. You can argue with a lot of things and win, but math ain't one of them. So if it's just you and you're saving, let me just show you really quick. Let's say you wanted to have $1 million destination. Everybody type D in the chat. Type D in the chat. What if 1 is beating out all 5? It's the same thing you do in everything in life. If you have 1 that's better than the other, then you try to get the others to be better than the 1. If I run ads for my business and I've got 1 advertisement that's crushing the others, now that's my new target. That's my new goal. If I'm a coach on a football team and I've got 1 player that's performing better than all the others, then I'm going to shine a light on that player and try to motivate the other players to match their performance. You with me on this? Great question. Cool? All right, here we go. So destination. Let's say you want to have $1 million destination. I'm not saying $1 million is enough in retirement, but how do I get to the same destination? Good morning, Pop and Deep. How do I get to the same destination without taking so much time? Here's how you do it. So $1 million destination, let's just look at math. If I'm saving and investing $500 a month, which is $6,000 per year, and I do that for 30 years straight and I get a 10% rate of return, I get to my $1 million destination, but it takes 30 years. Everybody type 30 in the comments. I want you to understand the thing we need to focus on. Good morning. 30 in the comments. We're focusing on time. How do I get to the same destination but not take 30 years? So let's get inventory of our focus. Our focus is time, 30 years. Good morning, Relentless. What up, Ireland? Good eye, mate. Wait a minute. So check this out. The only thing that we're going to change in this formula is how many assets this guy has. Takes this. Ali, I just came across your live and I really love your vibes. Plus, you're very educational. Ali, thank you. I'm so grateful for that. I'm happy to help. How many of you are learning something today? Say me, and I promise I'm getting to the point. Just say me. Ali, I appreciate you. If you're new here and you want to hang out with us every day, I go live all the time. If you want to hang out, just tap on the follow button up here. We've started to go early just for Dana so she can get a good workout in. We owe that to her. Awesome. I'm glad to help. I love your Irish accent. I'm working on it. So here's the one change we make. Instead of getting to $1 million destination and it taking 30 years, all we do is buy one asset. That asset kicks off profit, and I can save and stack more cash. I get to the same $1 million destination. Instead of it taking 30 years, it takes 23 years. So one asset saves you 7 years. Instead of retiring 30 years, good morning, Joy. El guapo. Me llamo El guapo. See? Instead of it taking 30 years to get to your destination, $1 million, it only takes you 23 years. You save 7 years. Does this make sense? Wealth with Mike. What's the asset? Mike, if you're new here, we buy assets that produce profit. An asset, by definition, is something that produces income that doesn't require you to be there. I don't know, Mike, what asset are you interested in? Everybody in the comments, let me know. What asset are you interested in learning about? We're going to get into some deals. We're going to evaluate those next. What do you want to learn about? You want to learn about rental properties? What are assets that produce income that don't require us to be there? Disconnecting time from money. Self-storage? Anybody want to learn about storage? Type S in the chat. How many of you want to learn about foreclosure? Type F in the chat. Foreclosures? You want to talk about RV parks? Laundromats? Type L. Car wash? Type C. Storage? Stocks? So we want to buy stocks that produce dividends, income. We buy assets that produce income. If you have to finance the asset, insurance, maintenance, etc., there's going to be expenses. Okay, really quick, pop quiz. Sometimes when we talk about buying profit, we're so focused and stuck in where we are, it's hard to see beyond that. Are there expenses and costs that go into things? Yes. But if I get income, what we want to look for is what? Profit. That's what we're aiming for. If I look at an asset and my income is going to be, hypothetically, $5,000 after all expenses and running the asset. They call that NOI, net operating income. $5,000. And I've got to get debt and maintenance and all the stuff you're talking about, and all that stuff costs me $2,000. Then my profit is $3,000 a month. Why for yes and for no do we like this deal? Hypothetically, yes or no? Do we like this hypothetical deal? Just because there's cost doesn't mean I run. You understand? No matter what you do in life, you can't avoid cost. But that's not something we want to avoid. We want to run towards profit. You've only got enough energy. And if you focus your attention on trying to avoid cost, you become an avoiding cost person. And there's cheapo people. We don't want to be cheapo people. You don't want to be sheeple people either. You want to follow. You don't want to be cheap, but you want to seek profit. You want to develop the skill set that can evaluate assets that produce profit. Let's get into a deal. How about this? You're still making money? Exactly. Who cares about cost if you've got profit? Sometimes people are so focused on cost they forget there's profit. That's okay. That's okay. Love you. All right, so here we go. Y'all want to get into a deal? Good morning. Check this out. Let's go look at an actual deal. How many of you want to buy real estate right now, but interest rates are too high? Renee, Five Guys Miller. Let's go, Renee. 5. Oh, were we even talking about numbers? Good morning, Renee. How many of you want to buy real estate, but interest rates are too high? Just type R in the chat. And then we'll get to fear. We'll get to some more money mindset. We'll talk about how money is abundant and unlimited. All kinds of stuff in just a second. Me. Okay, let me show you an actual example. I'm going to show you how we use mindset to take an asset that was previously losing money and we turn it into profit. Let's go here. And then if I get time, we'll get to foreclosures. We'll cover a lot of ground on that. Foreclosures, it's higher than... Yo, Renee, what? What are you doing right now? Good morning. Oh my gosh. Foreclosures, I've been buying foreclosures for a long time. It's getting good and it's only going to get gooder if you're an investor. So let's go here. Foreclosure filings across the United States, all states have surged and it's continuing to surge. We've talked about this. If you want to search this up, you ready? FHA Loss Mitigation Program. FHA Loss Mitigation Program. Hit the search on that and you're going to read a lot about how they got rid of the FHA loss mitigation program, which means people haven't paid their mortgage in 5 years. And the government is finally going, well, we're going to have to take your house. I need to do this now. Dana, that's what I'm saying. Dana, don't make me drive up there. Dana, do I have to hold your hand? I will if I have to. So we're going to talk more about this. If I get time, I'll get to foreclosures. How many of you want to learn about foreclosures? Type F in the chat. If there's enough interest in this, I'll come back to this. But let's get to an actual deal. Let's walk through it live right now. So we want to go out there. We want to buy assets that produce profit. We're interested in doing that. However, interest rates are high. F, Sue, foreclosures, Anissa, Neville, Coach House, good morning. Inwoke, good morning. Gabriel. Okay, Mike, awesome. We'll get to foreclosures next. I'll cover that next. I'll teach you how no matter where you live, you can learn about how to find assets in 5 steps or less. We'll do that next. But let's take a look at this one. So this is an asset that's listed for sale. Some people say you can't buy real estate right now because interest rates are high, 6, 6.5, 7%. Let me show you the deal. I did loss mitigation modification last year to save my property. Love it, Twan. That's awesome. So let's take a look at this deal. This one's for sale, 3-unit complex. Commercial on the bottom, residential in the middle, residential on top. I call them up and I say, hey, I see your assets for sale. I see you've got a 3-unit complex. How much money are you making? They say, we're making $6 grand a month. I go, oh. I call my bank. I say, get the Brinks truck ready. I got this guy on the line. I'm going to buy this house. You're making $6,000 a month? But that's great that he can say that to me on the phone, but I want to verify that. So in the comments below, what should I ask him for to help me verify the income? It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to prove it. Amen? What would I ask him to show me, to prove that he's making $6,000 a month in income? Let me know in the chat. Hey man, that's great you're making $6,000 in a month in income, but can you show me, what would I ask for? Hannah, profit loss statement. Tax returns are the true litmus test. If it's not on their Schedule E tax return, if it's not on their tax returns, and they're not paying income tax on it, they're probably not earning it. We've experienced this many times. We're going to buy a country club in Iowa. They were like, we're making $100,000 in cash. I go, let me see your tax return. They go, see what happened was the way my tax return is set up, right? I got my check and got my savings. Okay, listen, buddy. I'm not going to turn you in for tax fraud. It's me and you versus the government, not me and the government versus you. However, if you can't prove you've earned this money, I'm not buying it. I'm not paying for it. Make sense? Bank statements, rent rolls, lease agreements, all kinds of stuff like that's going to be super helpful at this point. But at some point, I want to verify the tax returns. Cool? Good morning, Jason. We're early. We're early for Dana. We're doing this for Dana. Good morning. So I want to verify all of those things. But you get the point. Profit, loss statement, all those things. They prove it to me. I go, oh my gosh, they're making $6,000 a month in income. Let's roll, baby. So I go to my mortgage lender, and I get approved. 6.5%. It's today's rates. It is what it is, my dude. My mortgage estimate is $6,130. So I'm bringing in, if I buy this asset, I'm bringing in $6,000 a month in income. If I get a mortgage at current interest rates, it's $6,130. In the chat, what's the problem here? I'm bringing in $6 grand in income. My mortgage alone is $6,130. As Martin Lawrence, one of our great philosophers of our time, once said in his famous art piece, National Security, what the problem is. What the problem is. I'm losing money, Lexi. Negative cash flow, losing money. Negative's the wrong direction, right, Joy? Carrie, $130 loss. Income's less than the mortgage, no positive cash flow. Oh my gosh, you can't buy real estate right now. It's too expensive and the interest rates are too high. Pass out. Oh! We got to say, hey, we haven't gotten there yet. 6.5%, that's the problem. Come here, check this out. There's a blue text down here. I don't know if you can read it from your side. Will you let me know in the comments if you can read this? If you can read this, type R in the chat, but I'm going to read it to you. Assumable FHA mortgage for qualified buyer. What? Assumable mortgage. Let's break down these words. Assumable. You can read that? Let's go. Shout out to HD. How easy is it to do assumables to get into real estate? I'm going to show you how we do it live right now. So just make sure you're taking good notes. No way can read. Good morning, Binga. If you want to hang out with us every day, by the way, just come up here and tap on the follow button. My name is Will. I live in Texas. I go live all the time, and I teach you what I did to get financially free at 29, and I teach for free. If you want to hang out with us, just tap on the follow button. So assumable mortgage. Let's break these words down. Assumable. What this means is the owner of this property has the type of mortgage that he can transfer to me, the buyer. So there's a seller, that's this guy. He called his mortgage company, and he said, hey, can I just transfer my mortgage to somebody if they want to buy my house? Mortgage company said, yes. Point number 2. So that's what assumable means. They can transfer the mortgage to me. I take over their mortgage. I don't have to get a new mortgage. Got it? Comprende? Cool. By law, certain mortgages have to be assumable. It's federal law. For example, FHA mortgages and VA loans, Veterans Administration loans. They have to, by law, be assumable. You can take them over. So I call the guy up and I say, hey, I see it's in your listing, assumable FHA mortgage. Is that still on the table? They go, yeah, cool. I go, okay, great, because I was going to get qualified at 6.5%. I go, what is your mortgage? He goes, my mortgage is 3.5%. I go, what? Yeah, it's 3.5%. I go, can I take it over? He goes, yeah. So my mortgage payment, instead of losing $130 a month, my mortgage payment is $4,814 a month. So I'm bringing in $6,000 in revenue from the lease agreements. My mortgage payment, because I take over his mortgage, is $4,814. And I take an asset that previously was losing $130 a month, and I turn it into an asset that makes a profit of $1,186 a month. Oh! Wait a minute. What if somebody takes it over and doesn't make those payments? Well, it depends how you set it up. But if you take it over, Jen, and it's in your name and you don't make those payments, they take the house from you. Now it's your responsibility. Depends how you set it up. But there's ways the seller can protect themselves. There's the ways the buyer can protect themselves. But the point is that in this point in time, when interest rates are high, you can still buy. There is still profit out there. How many of you want to learn how to find assets like this? Just say me in the chat. If there's enough interest, I'll show you live right now how to do it. What? Yeah, right now. Just take notes. What if the bank declines you because of interest and not tells you? If they declined you, they would tell you. What are you actually trying to ask me? Me? Okay, let's do it. Here we go. Check this out. Let's get into this deal. There's a variety of deals. I'll get into these a little bit later on. There's a variety of deals that I've done over my career. I do this still. There's give and take in every deal. So what's in it for the seller? No money goes to him. You just take the mortgage over. Carrie, great question. Let me flip over here. Come to the board. Great question. Let's answer this and address this before I get deep into these deals and show you how to do this. But if you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time. If you want to hang out with us every day, come up here and tap on the follow button somewhere. I teach my face off. We evaluate deals all the time. But this is such a good question, and it's a common question that Carrie asked. So let's address it. What is in it for the seller? How many of you are thinking that thought too? Type S in the chat for seller. How many of you are like, but why would somebody do that? Just type S for seller. Wait a minute. Why are they going to do something like that? That's crazy. Watch this. You ready? S. Okay, cool. So here's how it works. Let's say you have a house. And let's say that your house, the value of that house, $100,000. Yeah, one of them is that he gets out of the deal. Maybe there's a reason that he needs to do that. We've done this with people that got deployed overseas. We've done this with divorces. We've done this when somebody passes away. There's a variety of reasons that something would happen. But let's say the value of the house that you have is $100,000. And let's say that the remaining debt that you have is $50,000. And I like your deal. I like your asset because you've got a mortgage of just say 2%. And I call you and I go, hey, I want to buy your house. But I can't afford to buy it at 6.5% interest, which is current rates right now. Are you open to me taking over your mortgage to see if we could do that? And you're like, yeah, I'm into that. But how much money would I have to give you? If the house is worth $100,000 and there's debt of $50,000, what is the equity? Somebody let me know in the comments. What is the equity in this house? Let me know in the comments. What's the equity here? It's worth 100, $50,000, right? So the give and take, every deal has it. The give and take is that if I want to buy this house and I want to take over that $50,000 loan at 2% interest, what does my down payment need to be? If you were the seller, how much cash would you want to walk away with? I'm going to take your debt. My down payment is going to be... the bank mostly don't support you taking over. Wrong. Somebody do a search right now and come back and fact check me. Search. What mortgages by law are required to be assumable? It's federal law. FHA mortgages, VA loans have to be assumable. It's not the banks, like well, our policy, federal law trumps your bank policy. You know what I'm saying? It's just federal law. If it's backed by the government, FHA and VA loans, yep, just hit the internet, just search it. Search it right now. Say, what mortgages by law have to be assumable? Just search that right now and come back and let me know. So my down payment, this is the give and the take on this. My down payment is going to be whatever their equity is going to be. Unless, but with the intent to occupy 100%. Yep, absolutely. So by law, it requires you to assume it. I mean, it requires it to be assumable, excuse me. So the give and the take, yes, you can take over somebody else's mortgage, but sometimes that equity can be quite high. If it's been several years, they've paid down the debt, it's appreciated in value, then you come along and you want to take it over, you take over the cheap debt, that's great news for you. Not so great news, you could have big down payments. Cool? Carrie, great question. Glad we got it answered. Now let's jump over here and let's walk through how you find these deals. Cool? And you can see here, 4% interest. This is the deal we took over. $34,000 worth of down payment. $65,000 down payment. However, I got a 2.68% interest rate. Really cool. You can do all kinds of stuff there. 3.3, $12,000 down payment. But here's how you find it. Here's what you do. So you can go to Zillow. Everybody type Z in the chat. Jason, awesome question. Let's go, Big Diesel. Type Z in the chat for Zillow. Zillow is the most popular, by far, real estate website on the planet. So I'm going to show you how to find these deals live right now. You go to Zillow. Zillow's free. Doesn't cost you any money. For the More button, which is the next thing you're going to do, step number 2, is you want to look for the More tab. You could do this right now. Open up a browser while you're listening to this and try to figure this out. To find the More tab, you might have to log in, but it's free. It doesn't cost you any money to do any of these steps. You go to the More button. I've highlighted with a big red circle and a big red arrow. When I go to More, I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. Scroll, 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 scroll. That's how I scroll. Scroll, 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 scroll. I bang my head. And I go to the bottom and I see keywords. Where do I find businesses? Wall Street Lion, a variety of different things you can do. I'll show you how we do that and evaluate them in just a second. So I go to keywords. I'm going to play around with it. Assumable, owner finance, seller finance, transferable, all kinds of stuff. This is going to search the actual listing. I don't know what they put in the listing, so I want to test it. I can also pair this with days on market. Obviously, if somebody's trying to sell something, the longer they've been trying to sell it, the hungrier, the itchier they're going to get to sell it, and they may be more open to negotiating or what they call seller concessions, being like giving you incentives to buy it from them. 90 days on market, you can pair these two things together. Keywords, days on market, you pair those two things together. These are the actual listings. Owner financing, seller financing. This is an actual deal. It says 4%. Can you read it from your side? 4% assumable loan. That's right, 4%. If I could tap on this side and it would pop up, you would see it. This is the actual listing. Continuing on. Again, actual listing, citation at the bottom of every screen. 2.875% assumable loan. How much did he say? 2.875. Oh! That's what I'm saying. Assumable loan. I've been teaching this for years. Real estate agents are finally waking up that this is a great way to market. In high interest rate environments, you have to find the things that you can market to, you can speak to sell your thing. That's what I'm saying. They want you to buy it, so you need to find all the benefit to the buyers. That's how you sell stuff. So now they're marketing it this way. Let's continue on. This is in Mueller. I live in Austin, Texas. Mueller is a really nice area. A lot of people want it. Assumable 2.25% VA loan. So really quick question. VA loan, veteran. Yes or no? In the comments, let me know. Yes or no? Do you have to be a veteran to assume this mortgage? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Do you have to be a veteran? It says 2.25% VA loan. Dana, how's our workout? Let me know, girl. Do you have to be a veteran? Answer. Another daily double. No, you do not have to be a veteran. Side note, if you are a veteran and you take over another veteran's VA loan, there's an extra document that you would sign that would release their VA benefits back to them. In the bath now, let's go Dana, I love it. They would release their VA rights back to them. So if you're a vet, there's one extra document, you do take that over. But you do not have to be a veteran to take over a VA loan. Cool? Awesome. Glad we got that cleared up. Look at this one. This is beautiful. This is awesome. This is Sarah's new house. She sits on the couch. She overlooks the Central Texas sunrise every morning. Awesome. The man, the legend, Mrs. Dana Deal in the house. That's Mrs. Dana Deal. The number one reason that Dana's daughter bought her first rental property as 19 years old is because of the example that Dana set. Overwhelmingly. Great example to follow. So this house right here, again, assumable financing, also available. Current interest rate is 2.25%. So just want you to know that you can find these deals. They're all over the place. And this is one asset example. Cool? Oh my gosh. If you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that cash flow. If you want to hang out with us every day, just come up here and tap on the follow button somewhere. I teach my face off. I show you deals that I buy, that I've helped people buy. I've got a private group called the Passive Income Club. Over 450 members. Over 450 members worldwide. We actively buy assets, and I teach you how to do that. Cool? So let me show you a couple of other things. Here's what we're going to cover next. Later on, I'm going to get into tax savings. How do I find the money to buy these deals? Well, one of the ways that you can do that is you can focus on your greatest expense, which is your tax bill, and learn how you can legally pull down your taxes, save that money, then use that to buy assets. I'm going to teach that to you. How many of you are interested in learning about that? Type T in the chat for taxes. We'll talk about that. Before that, I'm going to get to foreclosures. How do I find and evaluate foreclosures in 5 steps or less? No matter what state you live in, Missouri, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas, denial, delusion, whatever state you're in, I'm going to teach you how to find and evaluate foreclosures in 5 steps or less. If you're interested in foreclosures, you want to make sure I cover that, type F. If there's enough interest, a little bit later on, I'll cover that. What I'm going to go to next, as I get to those other things, is I'm going to teach you how you build a financial foundation so strong that nothing can knock down. So we're going to go to step number 1, what everybody can do to accidentally and automatically earn higher interest, stack their cash, get it ready to do the next big thing. Cool? Okay, foreclosures, I got you. Got you. We're going to cover a lot of that ground. So let's go here. Come over here. Let me teach you a couple of different things, and let's walk through this. So before I get too deep, I'm going to go to the basic foundational principles of wealth. Good morning. Good morning. You're so welcome. And cover some ground on that. How do I build a financial house so strong nothing can knock down? And how do I accidentally and automatically do better financially? I'm going to show you how to do that next. But first, let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Let me know. Do you have to have a good credit to assume a loan? Generally speaking, yes. Happy to be here. Let's go. I'm happy to have you here. Let's go. South Africa. Let's go. Good morning. Good morning. Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. We're going to cover a lot of ground quickly. Nigeria. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning. Good morning. Alabama, New York. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so let's go through a couple of different things. Let me walk you through Syracuse, New York, Kuwait, Jacksonville, Florida. Good morning, Jacksonville. So come over here. Let's take a look at this guy. Let's walk through this example. So how do I accidentally, automatically do better financially? And I want you to understand that everything is automatic. Good habits are automatic, bad habits are automatic. How many of you automatically don't eat so good every single day? Say me in the comments. Next week I'll be checking in from Florida. Let's go! On the beach. My little toes, my little piggies in the sand. Pensacola, Florida. Good morning, Minneapolis. Good morning. How many of you accidentally and automatically don't eat so good every day? Ooh. How many of you, Nashville, good morning, Nashville. I was just in Nashville. How many of you automatically go to the gym every day? Type G in the chat for gym. How many of you have been going to the gym for so long, for so many years, it's just what you do. You wake up in the morning and you go to the gym. It's an automation that you do. How many of you are not doing that? Say no. Like, I've been automatically working on that for 30 years. So you can have habits that automatically pull you in a direction that you want to go or pull you in a direction you don't want to go. I'm going to walk you through how you do this with your finances. Let me show you an example. Check this out. So if you have direct deposit and you're receiving income from your job, from your business, whatever you're doing, if you're direct depositing that income into a checking account, I want you to type C in the chat for checking. I'm going to show you how to accidentally and automatically automate success. I'm sexy and I know it. No. Checking account. This is the norm. This is normal. Checking. Now, in the comments, bonus points, let me know. Do you know what interest rate you're earning on your checking account? What is the interest rate that you're earning on your checking account? Anybody know? Is it 0? Is it half of 0? What's half of 0? What is the interest rate that you're earning? 0. Very small. Is it 0.0 something? 0.001? Maybe 0? If we're honest, do we even know? Dang near zero. All right, so check this out. Direct deposit income into a checking account, the national average, according to the FDIC, which is who insures banks, so they would know better than anybody. The national average on a checking account is 0.07. So we're going to take one example. We're going to take a balance, and your balance is going to be whatever your balance is going to be. But let's take a balance of $10,000. And we're going to see what they would earn in 1 year earning interest and 5 years earning interest. You ready? Come here, check this out. Most people have a checking account, and according to the FDIC, again, the national average is 0.07. So if I had a $10,000 balance in my checking account, and I had the national average in my checking of 0.07% interest, I would earn $7 in 1 year. Oh! Good morning, Shelly. Good morning, South Carolina. Good morning, sunshine. I would earn $7. $7 in 5 years. Having an account balance of $10,000, I would earn $35 and change. Oh my gosh! That's not bad, that's terrible. Terrible. Rowdy, I love it. Not good, not good, no bueno, no bueno. So here's the change that we make. We're going to talk about high yield savings accounts. So come back over here, let's take a look at this. A high yield savings account, you can do all the same stuff in a high yield savings account that you do in a checking account. But instead of earning 0.07, we can earn 3 to 4%. So instead of direct depositing my income into a checking, I direct deposit my income here. Now let's understand, that is highway robbery. Let's understand if I had the same account balance, whatever money you've got is what you got. If I had that same money, instead of sitting in my checking account earning next to nothing, in 1 year I would earn $7. In 5 years I would earn $35. What would that do in a high yield savings account? You ready? How many of you want, by the way, I have an entire list of high yield savings accounts. How many of you want me to send you that list for free? I aggregate it about once a week. Type L in the chat for list. I'll send it to you for free. Shelly says, I got one of those making way more money on storing my cash. Absolutely. Where do you find high yield savings accounts? I have an entire list. I aggregate the best of them. Type L in the chat. Why not stock market, which gives you 10 to 12% returns? They're different goals. You don't put all your money in there. It depends. So what if you took it out? Capital One. Yeah. Type L in the chat for list. I'll send you an entire list. But let me walk through this. So if I had a high yield savings account and I'm earning, and this is the average on high yield savings accounts, is between 3 and 4%. And we'll read the list together. If I had the same account balance of 10 grand, instead of having that in a checking account, I just put it in a high yield savings account. In 1 year, instead of earning $7, I would earn $400. Oh! Great question. Okay, SoFi. SoFi is really good. I like SoFi, but I have a list of a bunch of them. If you want my list, it's in the bottom corner. You see the TikTok Live? There's a little orange bubble somewhere down here in the bottom corner. Y'all see this? Let me show you how to do this. So when you're in the TikTok Live, if you want the list of high yield savings accounts, when you're in the TikTok Live, I don't know if this is going to focus, just tap on this guy here. There's a little orange bubble. Boop. When that pops up, it says, I want the list of high interest banks. Tap on that guy. When it pops up, it's going to auto-populate a message. Just hit send. When it sends, then I'm automatically going to send you the list. banksearch.org/list. It'll take you here, and we're going to look at this list later, but then it's going to walk through different examples. SoFi has a 3.8% offer, no minimum balance. Barclays, 3.5%, no minimum balance. American Express, so on and so forth. Everybody see that? So in the bottom corner, somewhere down here, tap it down there. Got it? Once you get that, let me go here. Let's take a look. But here's what I want you to see. If I had a $10,000 account balance, and that $10,000 account balance was in my checking account, which is what most people do. How do you apply for a high yield savings account? Number one is I would find a good high yield savings account that you like, which is why I give you that list, which is the orange button down below. Number two, if you find one that you like that matches your goals, zero minimum balance, high interest, you can do all the same stuff, SoFi's number one. They're crushing. SoFi's crushing it. So go look at the list, and then there you can apply for one. You can see one, which they're free, they don't cost anything. But let's continue on with this train of thought. Instead of same account balance. Instead of having that in a checking account, I have that in a high yield savings account. You can do all the same stuff. You can pay all the same bills, all the same things that you're doing, which I'll walk you through that in a second. Instead of earning $7 in a year, I earned $400 in a year. 1 year, $400. Check this out. In order for me to get $35 in a checking account, it would take me 5 years, which you would do in 1 month over here. Let me show you. So if I earn $400 in my high yield savings account, let's go to calculator mode. If I earn $400 in a year, I divide that into 12 months. That means in my high yield savings account, I earn about $33 a month. How much does it take me to do that in 5 years in my checking account? $35 in 5 years. I did that in 1 month. Everybody see that? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Do you see that? Instead of it taking you 5 years, this is crazy when you get it. Instead of it taking you 5 years to earn $35, you did it in 1 month. Did you see that? What? Yes? Yes? That's the game. Gotta love compound interest, 100%. And then over time, you earn, in 5 years, same account balance, you earn $2,166. Crazy. So if you want the list of high yield savings accounts, there's an errand. I love your scream. Let's go. Just tap on this guy. If you want the list of high yield savings account banks, I'm going to teach a little bit more, but this is how you automate this. And then I'll show you my automations. The list of high yield savings accounts is somewhere down here. There's a little button down here. Just tap on that guy. That pops up. It says, I want the list of high interest banks. Tap that. Send me a message with that automatically. Bam, you're in there. So simple. Exactly. It's so simple. And then I'm going to get a little bit more advanced, but how do you automate this? A portion of all you earn is yours to keep forever. So whether you're an employee or a business owner, you need to set aside money for you. Set aside money for you. I have Ally. Ally can be good. It's not bad. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and then I automate it. And in just a second, I'll show you how I automate my flow of funds. Anytime I receive income, how it goes into high yield savings account and pay the bills. But let's come back over here. Let me walk you through this really quick. Okay, so direct deposit income. Income comes in. Instead of direct deposit it into a checking account, I now direct deposit it into my high yield savings account. How would that affect what I've got going on? How would that change things? Well, instead of earning, let me show you the numbers. Instead of earning $7 in 1 year, I would earn $400. Instead of it taking 5 years for me to earn $35, I would earn $2,166 in the same 5 years. What? I want a list of high interest banks. Okay, so really quick, if you want the list of high interest banks, it's down here in the corner. You see the little orange button. One more time. Tap on the orange button. When that pops up, it says, I want the list of high interest banks. Tap on that. And then it'll say, I want the high interest banks. Just hit send on the message, and I'll automatically send you the list. Bam. And then you can go there and see list of high interest banks. You can set it up there, all that kind of stuff. Cool? Good morning. What? Yeah, there's the list. banksearch.org/list. banksearch.org/list. What is this website? That is the list of high yield savings accounts. It's a list that I aggregate about once a week so that you know where the high yield savings accounts are. Does that make sense? Everybody type L in the chat for list. If you want the list, I pinned it there, banksearch.org/list, or just go here and tap on this guy. Boop. When you tap on the orange button, it says I want the list. Send the message. All right, cool. Now, come here. Let's learn a really important concept. Everybody type ADB. ADB. Alpha Delta Bravo. ADB. Alpha Delta Bravo. I want you to understand this concept. ADB. This is why you accidentally and automatically automate success. ADB. That's right. ADB. Average daily balance. This is how it works. And this is why you want to at least have a high yield savings account. So what happens is a bank is going to look at a calendar. And in my calendar, I'm only going to have 3 days, but you're not going to judge me. We listen and we don't judge. And they're going to look at your bank account balance on the first of the month. Shout out to Bone Thugs and Harmony. And they're going to see that you've got 10 grand in your account. So you've got $10,000 sitting in your bank account. At the end of the day, they go back and they go, cool, it's midnight, he's got 10 grand. That's going to contribute to your average daily balance. The next day, average daily. They go to the day. They go, how much money does this guy have? Oh, he had some bills come out. So now he's got $7,000 in his bank account. Average daily balance. At the end of the day, they go, okay, he's got 7 grand. So on and so forth. 13 grand, 5 grand, 20 grand, 11 grand, 10 grand, 10 grand, 10 grand. And at the end of the month, they average all those days to determine your average daily balance. At the end of the month, they go, this guy had an average daily balance of $10,000. What type of account does he have? Oh, he's got a regular checking account, which pays 0.07%. We give him 0.07% on his $10,000. They throw a couple of peanuts your way. Or they look at your account and they say, what type of account does this person have? Average daily balance doesn't change. Oh, he's got a high yield savings account that pays 3.8%. Let's give him 3.8% on his money. You don't do anything differently in your life. You just change how you do it. Instead of having it in a bank account, a checking account paying 0.07, you have it in a high yield savings account. All the same bills that you paid during the month, the car payment, the utilities, the electricity, the rent, all that stuff, that still comes out. You just earn higher interest. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Your average daily balance is going to be what it's going to be. If your average daily balance right now is $3,000, you better earn higher interest. If it's $30,000, you better earn higher interest. At least have it in a high yield savings account. Cool? It's exactly how I do it. Direct deposit, absolutely, 100%, 100%. Over time, this adds up. You have to keep the balance by the end of the cycle. Here's what I'm saying. You already have a balance. What you were saying, I understand. It does not make sense, though. D, all you got to do is get a high yield savings account and start using it. That's all you got to do. Cool? Good morning, Mr. Phil. Let's go, Mr. Phil. Good to see you, brother. So let's understand this concept. This is the month of July, okay? But the month of June already passed. The month of May already passed. The month of April already passed. In those months, you had an average daily balance. In the month of April, whatever your number is, what your number was. You had an average daily balance. You had bills come in and bills go out, and bills come in and bills come out, and income come in and bills go out, and income come in and income go out. So you had an average daily balance in April. You had an average daily balance in May, June, July. What do you think is going to happen in August? What do you think is going to happen in November, December? Same thing. Therefore, instead of having all that money stuck in a checking account that's earning you nothing, what we do is we put it in a high yield savings account. Cool? Same thing. Average daily balance, instead of earning 0.07, is now going to earn 3 to 4. In 1 year, instead of earning $7, you earn $400. Got it? Love it. That's the name of the game. High yield savings accounts works on the money that you're already saving. Absolutely. So you need to build an emergency fund. You need to have a check in it, like all the stuff you're doing. Just accidentally earn interest. How many of you have money sitting in your bank account right now? Whether it's $1, $10, $10 million. Just type 1 in the chat. Do you have money there? If your money's doing this, boo. We need to make a change. That's all I'm saying. You've already got something in there. If that something's doing better, here's the difference over time. Never think about it. Accidentally, automatically, it's doing its thing. Cool? So if you want the list of high yield savings accounts, this is your last chance. I'm going to move on to another point. If you want the list of high yield savings accounts, tap on this guy. It's down in the corner. When you tap on this, it pops up, and then there's a little button. It says, I want the list of high interest banks. Tap on that button. It auto-populates a message. Hit send. It sends it to me. That cues an automation, and I automatically send you the list of all the high yield savings accounts. Cool? Cool? Yeah? Yeah. Every other dollar invested. There's a whole philosophy on that. So there's a little button down here. Just tap on that and just keep tapping. Let's get a little bit more advanced. Can I show you? Y'all want to get? Okay, Texas is a consent first state. You want to go deeper? You want me to pair a couple of ideas together? Investing in assets that produce profit with tax savings. Did it, let's go. Happy to help. Y'all want to get a little more advanced? Yes or no? All right, let me show you some stuff. Let's get frisky. We're gonna get frisky with the biscuit. Yes, let's go. All right. Let me show you a couple of things. We're gonna pair several ideas together at once. And we're gonna extract wealth at every step of the way. So I want to buy assets that appreciate in value. Income stream number 1. When I buy the asset, I want it to produce income for me every month, like rental income. Playlist, let's go. I'm trying out new tech right now. It's playing in the background, but it's real low. I'm going to try to get that synced up, Mr. Phil. Then I get rental income. That's income stream number 2. Then if I maximize my tax advantages, so on and so forth. So let's kind of set some ground rules really quick. How many of you have a capital gain event that's coming or is happening some point in the future? So like, let's say you've got some stocks. How many of you have stocks that have gone up in value? Type S in the chat for stocks. And I'll explain all this to you and what this means in a second. How many of you have stocks that went up in value? We're going to get a little more advanced on here, but everybody can get something out of this. So stay with me. How many of you had crypto that went up in value? Type C in the chat. You bought low, it's worth a lot now, you're going to have to sell it at some point. When you sell it, you're going to have a capital gain event. How many of you have a business that at some point in time you want to sell? Maybe this is a business that you bought or that you built, and eventually you want to scale it and sell it. Type B in the chat for business. Or a variety of other things. We could be real estate. How many of you have real estate that's gone up in value over time and eventually at some point you're going to have to sell it, whether that's soon or whether that's later? Type R in the chat for real estate. And so on and so forth. There's a variety of things. The point is, if you have a capital gain event, if you have a capital gain event, there's some cool stuff you can do. You ready? All right. Let's hop over here. Let me walk you through a couple of different things. So let's clean off our board and let's walk through some of the really fancy things that we can get done that's going to maximize tax savings, grow our income, grow our wealth, build our net worth. So it starts with a catalyst. Let me put this back. This all starts with a catalyst of a capital gain event. So I've got a stock, I've got stock, crypto, business, real estate, some type of capital gain event happened over here. Step number 1, when you qualify for what's called Opportunity Zone 2.0, which happened after July 5th, 2026, that's us, and you sell something and you have a capital gain event, you can take the capital gain and you can invest inside of an opportunity zone. I'm going to show you what this means in a second. So let's say that I take my capital gain and I invest inside. Can y'all see all this? Let me back up a little bit. How does this look? Okay, cool. So now you've got commercial real estate, or whatever real estate, whatever you want to do. Good morning, Eddie. So you buy an asset inside of an opportunity zone. Let's say you buy $1 million asset, and this is located in an opportunity zone, which I'm going to explain all of this. Dana, I got you, girl. I got you. So I buy in an opportunity zone, got $1 million. I take my capital gain. Starts with a capital gain. I take my capital gain, I invest inside of real estate in an opportunity zone. $1 million. Step number 1 is I defer that capital gain event for 5 years. Everybody type 5 in the chat. 5 in the chat. If you're new here, by the way, my name is Will. I go live all the time and I teach my face off for free. I teach you what I did to get financially free at age 29. If you want to hang out with us every day, just tap on the follow button somewhere up here. Some of the things I'm going to teach you right now are some of the lessons that we show our clients. I also own a CPA tax firm. I'm in all 50 states. I specialize in helping people lower their taxes. This is with an emphasis on asset and investing with tax savings. So we're going to pair a lot of things together right now. But if you want to hang out, tap the follow button. We're going to get a little advanced. If you have questions, hit me. Happy to help. Capital gain event, that's the cue. Take my capital gain event, I roll it into an opportunity zone. Number 1, that delays that tax bill, which is still due, but it delays it for 5 years. So let's say, hypothetically, you've got $1 million tax bill. Let's just call it $1 million. I got $1 million tax bill, but it delays for 5 years. So it wouldn't be due 2026, I think 2032. I think April of 2032, maybe 2031. So let's just call it 2031. So I've delayed that tax bill till April of 2031. Oh! $1 million, let's call it a 20% capital gain tax event. 20% on $1 million is $200,000. So that's the tax bill that's coming due, but it's not due till 2031. So that means that I owe Uncle Sam, good morning, Paige, good morning, sunshine. I take my $200,000, I'm going to have to give it to Uncle Sam, but I don't have to now. So that means because of deferral, because of delay of 5 years, I can hang on to my cash. Maybe I can grow my cash. If I grow my cash from 200 to 250, I've now chipped away at the tax bill. So the point that I want you to understand is chipping away at the tax bill. Type C in the chat for chip away. I've got 5 years' time. What you do with it is up to you. But maybe I can chip away at the tax bill. Type C in the chat for chip. Good morning, 50 shots. Good morning, San Antonio. So that's principle number 1 on strategy number 1. I get a deferral. But check this out. Because you qualified for Opportunity Zone 2.0, not only do you get the 5-year deferral, but also they give you what's called a 10% step up in basis. What? So instead of you had $1 million capital gain on a stock, on a crypto, on a business, on a real estate, or whatever you sold, $1 million capital gain, but they say, you know what? Because you qualified for Opportunity Zone 2.0, this is tax law, we're only going to tax you on $900,000. Because you hang out with somebody like me, you just saved $20,000. Same capital gain tax rate of 20% on a $900,000 capital gain, even though you actually made $1 million, but it's a 10% step up in basis. Your tax bill is only $180,000, not $200,000. You just saved 20 grand, and you have 5-year deferral on that. Those are 2 tax strategies inside of 1. Everybody with me on this? Even though it's kind of confusing, type 2 in the chat. Capital gain event, sold stock, crypto, business, real estate, whatever. Buy an asset inside of an opportunity zone. I'm going to show you that next. When I do that, 5-year deferral plus 10% step up in basis. Cool? Now, let's go to the map. Let's jump over to the other screen. Dana, I got you, girl. I got you. I'm going to show you how to find this stuff. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Will. I'm teaching you some stuff that we show our clients, how to buy assets, maximize tax savings, all this stuff. If you need tax savings help, if your CPA is asleep at the wheel, I do offer free tax savings calls, but I don't have unlimited availability. So if you want to sit down for free and estimate tax savings, if I have any availability, I'll show you. Just type C in the chat for call, and I'm happy to show you how to book a call if we've got availability. But I love teaching for free. My loyalty is not to becoming my customer. My loyalty is to screwing the federal government with tax law. Cool? All right? And I don't want you to watch. That's weird. You should jump in. All right? All right. All right. Let me show you how to find this stuff. Oh, see. Okay. So if you want to book a free tax call, let me show you. I don't know if I've got availability, but I offer these for free. We sit down and estimate tax savings together. If I can find tax savings for you, I will show you how to do it. When you're in the TikTok Live, there's a little orange bubble somewhere down here. Tap on that orange bubble. When that pops up, it says, you scroll down a little bit, it says tax savings estimate call. You see that right there? And then when you tap on that, if there's any availability on my calendar, it'll show you. So one more time. Come on, you're the man. Let's go. When you're in the TikTok Live, just come down here. Twisted, you like the government just having their way with you? That's twisted. If you want to hang out with us all the time, tap the follow button. Check this out. So book your free tax call if there's availability. Tap on this guy. It pops up. Scroll a little bit, and it says it down there. All right, here's how you find this stuff. And then once you book your spot, come in the comments and say done. Sus, so I know you're good to go. So all I'm going to do, we're on the internets. We're going to search HUD, which is housing. HUD, which is housing and urban development. Housing and urban development. HUD, opportunity zone map. Okay, so let me just show you. What did I search? Grab a screenshot if you need to. What did I search? HUD, opportunity zone map. Twisted in a good way. I know, John, I'm just giving you trouble. Nothing but love, brother. HUD, opportunity zone map. Take a screenshot. 3, 2, 1. Cool. Now, the very first one that pops up is the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Map of opportunity zones. In the comments below, what state do you live in? I'll search for opportunity zone maps in your state. Opportunity zone map. Good morning, Wade. Good morning, Sugar Bear. What state do you live in? Florida. All right, Enrique, South Florida. Opportunity zone maps. You can invest in these areas. I'm going to continue on and teach you more of these. What did somebody say, Maryland? Dude, this part of the country always messes me up. That's D.C., Annapolis. I think this is Baltimore. The entire state of Baltimore. Excuse me, the entire city of Baltimore. All of it. All of it. Wyoming. Dude, Wyoming's so pretty. Drove to the Grand Tetons. South Dakota, Black Hills. Let's keep rolling. Somewhere Casper, Wyoming. Laramie, Wyoming. There's nothing in Wyoming except the Tetons. Flat. Beautiful Grand Tetons, but from Colorado to the Grand Tetons, ain't nothing, Jack. Ain't nothing. Good morning, Wyoming. So opportunity zone, there's a little bit in Casper, Wyoming. What are some other? I love you. North Carolina, opportunity zone map. Let's jump over to Raleigh, North Carolina. Opportunity zone, opportunity zone, opportunity zone. Arizona, let's go. Let's jump over to Arizona. This is federal law. All 50 states have opportunity zones. All 50 states. Do the entire state of Arizona. Opportunity zone, opportunity zone, opportunity zone. Jump over to Texas. Even down in Austin by the airport. Opportunity zone map. California, 100%. Florida, all of this. The entire, look at this, United States. Opportunity zone, Southern California. Opportunity zone map. Virginia, for sure. So let me teach you this point. Now that we understand a little bit more, if I take my capital gain event, I sell a stock, I sell a crypto, I sell whatever, and I take that money, what site is that? Let's go back. What did we search? Everybody grab your screenshots. This is what we searched. HUD Opportunity Zone Map, and I went to the HUD.gov Housing Urban Development Opportunity Zone Map site. So that's what I searched, and it takes you straight here. As I explain this, grab your screenshots, whatever you need to do to search this stuff. If I take my capital gain event and I roll it into an opportunity zone, I haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet, and I roll that into an opportunity zone, like a real estate inside of an opportunity zone, I get a 5-year deferral on my capital gain. My stocks that I sold, I made a money on, a 5-year deferral, and a 10% step-up in basis, which in this example, I'm going back to the board in a second, saved us $20,000. Let's get to the goods. Everybody type G in the chat for the goods. This is all foundational stuff so I can get to where I'm trying to get to. Type G in the chat for goods. Opportunity zones are for HUD certification for business tax breaks, right? No, you just have to use capital gain to buy in those areas. I'll show you, there's a lot of nuance and detail to it, but this is the high-level core. For the goods, here we go. Check this. Now, why do we buy real estate? Because real estate goes up. So if I buy this $1 million commercial real estate property, and it goes up, got a $1 million property that I bought all those years ago, let's say hypothetically it goes up, and now it's worth $5 million. Well, on the real estate that I purchased in the opportunity zone, now I have a $4 million capital gain event. Okay? So I've got $4 million. If I have a $4 million capital gain event, 20% tax rate. Hey, good morning, Miss Nunu. Good morning, sunshine. So $4 million at a 20% capital gain. What's my tax bill going to be? Any math majors in the chat? 20% times 4 million equals what? 20% times 4 million equals what? What's my tax bill? Any math majors? $800,000. So I'm looking at an $800,000 tax bill. I bought the real estate in an opportunity zone. It went up to $5 million in value over time, $4 million gain at 20%, which is just the tip of the iceberg, $800,000 tax bill. Oh, that's what I said. However, if you hold it inside of an opportunity zone for 10 years or longer, then you sell it, that entire capital gain is tax-free. The appreciation on your real estate inside of an opportunity zone is tax-free. Do you hear me on this? What? Yeah. When you buy assets from your capital gain event inside of an opportunity zone, you hold it for 10 years or longer. When you exit that real estate, that entire capital gain is tax-free. Oh, that's what I'm saying. So, what do we optimize for? Two things. Number one, I want to get rental income from the asset. Because I bought commercial real estate in this example, I'm getting rental checks every single month. How do I get my money out of the appreciated value? Stream number two. How do I get my money out of the appreciated value without selling? Are you serious? Absolutely. How do I get my money out of an asset? I've got real estate, but I don't want to sell it, but it's worth a lot more than I paid for it. How do I get my money out of it? Refinance. So let's say a couple years go by. My $1 million property hypothetically is now worth $2 million. Cash out refinance. Let's say they cut me a check for $1 million. They give me a $1 million check because that's from a loan. Am I taxed on that? Yes or no? Am I taxed on? Thank goodness I got screen recording. I got you. If I do a refinance, a cash out refinance, a home equity line of credit, whatever, am I taxed on that? Big Daddy, nope. Tax, you are not taxed on that because debt isn't taxed. So I can, at best of both worlds, I get my rental income and I can access my appreciation through debt refinance over those 10 years. And then when I sell 10 years later, I exit the position tax-free. So I got my money here tax-free too. Oh my God. And it's time to raise rent. Opportunity. This is just the tip of the iceberg on opportunity zones. Come on now. You want me to show you an actual case study of one of our clients and how we're lowering their taxes with opportunity zones? How many of you want to see that live right now? Type Y for yes. How many of you don't want to? Type 2 for no. Yes? Yes? Okay, come over here. Let me show you an actual example. By the way, if you didn't get a chance, I'm going to close it soon. If you didn't get a chance and you need help, my name is Will. I own a CPA tax firm, and for free, I offer tax savings estimates. So if there's something that you're doing, you're missing, you're not doing, your CPA is asleep at the wheel, they're hard to get a hold of, they're not really bringing ideas to you, and you want help, I've got free tax savings calls. If you want to save your spot, just go over here and tap on this. I don't know if I've got any more availability, but your deferral for 5 years, what happened to that? We'll get to that next, bingo. If you want to save on that haircut, good morning. Just tap on this guy. You're a genius. I've been doing this a long time, and I've got a lot of great CPAs that I work with on my team. So if you need help, there's a little button down here. When you tap on this button, it looks like this. Then I'll show you a case study. When you're in the TikTok Live, tap on this guy. Boop. Say, I want the list, right here, it says tax savings estimate. Bam. That's how you can save your spot if there's any availability. Haircut, you need one. When I wake up in the morning, I don't think about other men. But if that's what you do, all the power to you, brother. Good morning. He will really call you. I called you, did I not? I told you. I told you. So myself and my team do these calls. If you end up on my calendar, I'll call you. You know what I'm saying? But there's Quinn, there's Dave. Eventually, you'll get a chance to talk to me. There's just a lot of demand, and I can't do it all on my own. Yep, I got you. Did I do what I told you to? When we were on the call, I was like, oh, girl, I just need to send you the link. Did I send you the link? We keep our promises around here. So if you need tax savings help, if I've got any availability, just tap on this little button down here. Boop, it'll pop up. You go down a little bit, scroll a little bit, it says tax savings estimate call. That's how you save your spot. If there's any availability on the calendar, snag it. Snag it, bag it, and tag it. Let's go over here. Yes, you did. Oh my gosh, good morning, good morning. All right, so let's go to a case study. If you save your spot on a call, come in the comments and say done. So I know you're good to go. I know you got registered. And then we'll celebrate together. Anything I can do to show you tax law. If I get a little bit deeper, I'll show you more stuff. So glad I made that call. Let's go. 50 shots. How much money did you save in taxes? You saved like $5,000 or something from that call? Wild. Love it. Okay, let's go here. Let me show you an actual case study. Okay, let's go here. Boop. This one. It won't let me in for some reason. Oh, okay, come here, come here. Let's go this way. 10,000 and I got $5,000 back. Let's go. That's the name of the game. How do I maximize tax savings? That's absolutely the name of the game. And then I take the tax savings and I grow my business. I take my tax savings and I buy assets or whatever your objective is. But now you've got more cash, you get more money to do that. And that's the entire point. So point number one is that if I can lower my taxes, it's my greatest expense. Point number two is now that I've got the cash, I can take that cash and do something with it. Let's go! Sioux Hale, Ohio, $20,000 in tax savings. Love it. Okay, so let's take a $3 million capital gain and do our best to get this $0 in taxes. So this is working. We're working this deal right now. There's a lot of moving pieces, but let me just give you the high level. Couple of different things on this. We talked about Opportunity Zone 2.0, which starts when you sell an asset July 5th, 2026. Where do you refinance the real estate? There's a variety of different lenders that would do that. I've got some that I work with, but I would price shop, get 2 to 3 quotes, and then you can refinance it. But let's go through here. So we've got a $3 million original capital gain event on this transaction, and the Opportunity Zone 2.0 step up. So in this situation, this guy had commercial real estate in California. He wanted to sell the property. It was listed, it was ready to sell. I said, number one, if you want to do this, pump your brakes. Don't sell it until July 5th, 2026. So going back a little bit in time, he goes, okay, no problem, I can do that. I'm committed to selling the property and saving on taxes. Cool. So then he dragged his feet a little bit on the sale, and it didn't close until after July 5th. By doing that one thing, that gave him a step up in basis. Instead of being taxed at $3 million, it reduced his basis. He's only taxed at 2.7. So that one change saved him quite a bit of money. Quite a bit of money. But let's continue on. Let's jump all the way to the steps that we just talked about. So step number one is he waited until July 5th. Let me come over here because I think you can see it better. Step number one is he waited until July 5th to close the deal. That created a deferral and saved him a bunch of money in taxes. Qualified for the $3 million. The 5-year deferral plus the 10% step up in basis saved him $71,000. So let's get inventory of the total amount of money this guy's saving so far. Will everybody in the comments type 71? Can y'all see that? Type 71 in the chat. 71. So just that one piece of information that he wasn't familiar with, we gave him that information, we showed him how to do it, $71,000 in tax savings. He's got a 5-year deferral. He doesn't owe that for 5 years. So what he does with the money, maybe he chips away at the tax bill. I don't know, maybe, and that helps him out more. But let's continue on. We do a cost segregation study. I'm going to get into that a little bit more. I'll give you another example of that. Plus the bonus depreciation. He's got real estate professional status. We're going to accelerate all of his upfront tax savings into year one. That's going to create a $900,000 in year one depreciation losses. So what does this mean? Let me jump over here and show you a little bit because it's kind of getting confusing. We got a lot of words flying around. So let's come over here, let's clean this up, and let's talk about it. So $900,000 in year one deferral depreciation. What does this mean? So let's say hypothetically that your income, what you earned, was $900,000. This is your income. And then you create a deferral, a deduction of hypothetically $900,000. Previously, let's just say, for simple math, a 20% tax rate. Your tax bill at a 20% rate, 20% times $900,000, you would owe Uncle Sam $180,000. That's your tax bill. Oh! That's what I said. But we created a year one bonus depreciation acceleration with real estate professional status, lots of words, I'll explain that in a second, that allowed him to deduct $900,000 off of his taxes. So if his income for that year was $900,000, and he accelerated deduction to $900,000, in the comments, what's 900 minus 900? 900 minus 900 equals... Good morning, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, where have you been? Good morning. Pennsylvania investor. 0. There's nothing left to tax. So prior, he would have paid $180,000 in taxes. Now, there's no taxable income. Busy? Good morning. Good morning. I love it. So 20% times $0 means there's nothing to tax. Coming up on closing, let's go. I need to catch up with you, man. I want to hear all about it. So $180,000 in tax savings. Let's go back to the board. Let's take inventory of all the money that we're saving in taxes. $71,000 in tax savings, $900,000 year one bonus depreciation, deduction. So 71 plus 180. Bruh. Let me get some, I need the calculadora. Let's get the calculadora out. Okay, so here we are. We've got 180. Oh gosh, what is that? 180,000 plus 71,000. How much tax savings so far? 251. Will somebody type 251 in the chat? 251,000 is what we've saved so far. That's the accelerate deductions. Yeah, you can accelerate depreciation on it. John, I'm going to show you a different example with a different asset type in just a minute. Type it. Come on, good morning. Good morning, Picky Tris. Good morning. Good morning, Ohio. Good morning, Ohio. Go Reds. Oh, my gosh. I need to get up to Ohio. I've got a plan to come up and see the Cincinnati Reds. Should we do it? Should we do it? Can we talk all things bankruptcy, attorney? Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you, sunshine. Oh, my gosh. I've been, side note, just real quick side note. I've been studying some of these trial attorneys. Trial law is so interesting. My husband and I have season tickets. Oh, let's go. Anyway, we need to talk. I'm so intrigued by what goes into that. It's very interesting. Very interesting. But anyway, good morning to you. Good morning, sunshine. Okay, so far we've got how much total tax savings? $251,000 in tax savings. It's go Braves, go Reds. Okay, all right. I didn't mean to stir up. My bad. Continuing on, maintain real estate professional status, tax-free distributions. We talked about that. You know I was injury lawyer for 27 before I left. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna call you. We got to chat. I'm so intrigued. I'm so interested. We have a lot to talk about. We're just gonna have like podcasts and we'll talk about for weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm in. I did not know that, by the way, which I love. So if I have an asset, let's say I've got real estate property. I've got a real estate property, and it goes up and up and up in value. I can take a refinance. I can get debt. So my house is worth, let's say my property is worth $1 million, but I only have debt of $500,000. I can do a refinance of that, and I can take out the equity of that. Because it's a loan, it's not taxed. Debt is not taxed in the United States. So that's what we did here. So on and so forth. When we stack all of these things up, total taxes saved. Can y'all see this? Total taxes saved, $514,000. I've only calculated one. I just don't want to go on and on and on and this take 400 years. $251,000 is what you and I calculated together in tax savings. Total tax savings that we found this guy is $514,000. Is that crazy? If you have two things. Number one, if you have time and planning, like, hey, let's put together a game plan. And number two, you have a tax strategist, a CPA tax team that knows how to find tax savings. When you have those two things, you give me enough time and to understand your goals and where you're at, then we can put plans in place that help you get tax savings. Cool? Awesome. All right, so I'm going to move on to another topic, another point. We're going to continue on and keep this trade moving. If you didn't get a chance to book a tax savings call, I'm going to close it down in just a second. But if you want a free tax savings call, I offer a little bit of my time. It's not unlimited. So if you want to save your spot, tap on this guy. There's a little button somewhere down here. Just tap on the little button. It pops up. Scroll a little bit. It says tax savings estimate call. Tap on that button. If there's any availability, you can book a time with myself, with my team. We'll sit down and estimate tax savings together. If there's anything that I can help you save, that's what we specialize in. We do it all the time. I've got a couple of calls later on today, so I don't know if I've got any more availability. But if you want to save your spot, go do that. It looks like this, and then we're going to move on. You ready? When you're in the TikTok Live, at the bottom screen, somewhere down here, just tap on that little orange button. Boop. It pops up, and you just scroll a little bit, and it says tax savings estimate call. Just tap on that bad boy, save your spot, and then come back in the comments and say done, done. All right, let's go to one of my favorite things. One of my favorite topics. Oh my gosh, we are picking it up and putting it down. Let's go evaluate one of these deals. How many of you want to get into foreclosures now? Type F in the chat. You want to learn how to find and evaluate a foreclosure live right now? Type F in the comments for foreclosure. I will walk you through that in a second. Let me grab this piece over here. If you want to, just type F in the chat. Good morning. Good morning. So we'll talk about foreclosures. If we get time, I will cover 2 or 3 steps on this. We'll go through quite a few different topics on it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Foreclosure. We're into it. What about RV parks? 100%. We can talk about Heath's RV park in Iowa. He's got 40, I don't remember how many spots he's got, but I know that if he's 100% occupied, which he's not, I think it would do like 42 grand in a month, which means if he's 50% occupied, half of it's rented, he would do like 20 grand in a month. Done, let's go! Excited to chat, happy to chat, let's do it. If he's 25% occupied, he does about half of that, 10 grand in a month. If he's 12.5% occupied, he does about half of 10, which is $5,000 a month. What? RV parks can be very cool, very cool. But let's get into foreclosures. Let's jump over here and let's learn the 5 steps to evaluate a foreclosure. No matter where you're at, I'm going to show you how to do it. 5 steps or less. How do I find and evaluate foreclosures? So step number 1, as we get into foreclosures, let me know in the comments what state you're in. How can you get land approved for RV park? You talking about zoning? Is that what you mean? Ruth, good morning, Ruth. Talking about zoning? It's going to depend on your area. We also want to make sure that we buy in like friendly states that are friendly to us. Yes. Okay, we'll talk about some zoning stuff. We did a little bit of zoning yesterday. Shelly is looking at an area and had to look at flood maps. Indiana. Let me know what state you're tuning in from. My name is Will. I'm in Texas. If you want to learn, Virginia, awesome. Good morning, Virginia. If you want to learn how to find and evaluate foreclosures, we're going to do this in 5 steps or less. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step number 1, guess what? Step number one, Texas. Step number one, Virginia. Guess what? Step number one, you've already completed. What? Yeah. You go to the internet's Jason, and you say, who? El Rey, hola, mi amigo. You go to the internet's, and you say, who maintains property records in Florida? Who maintains property records in Texas? Who? You have to say it like that. Who maintains property records in Virginia? If you want to find and evaluate foreclosures in 5 steps or less, your first step is to search who maintains property records in your state. In my state of Texas, Mo State, show me. Come on, boo-boo. Good morning. In my state of Texas, I then want to go to the source. For me, that's the county clerk's office. So you search, who maintains property records in Missouri? Your answer is going to be your source. That's where I missed the who's. Good morning. They're back. They're back. Once I find the source, I then want to look for the list of foreclosures. So understand a couple of principles here. Principle number one, the source, somebody by law in your state is responsible for maintaining property records. Yep. Who maintains property records? Go to the source. You want to figure out who, there's a law. It says, hey, these people have to by law maintain property records. That's the official record. So in my state, that's the county clerk's office. So I go to the county clerk's office, I look for a list. You want to evaluate one right now? Type Y for yes, type N for no. You want to look at an actual foreclosure live together? Should we do it? Yes or no? You tell me, boss. I just work here. Yes? Yes, Pete? Yes? Virginia? Yes? All right. Come over here. Check this out. Vincent, old Republican, let's do it. Come here. All right. So now we're going to take this. This is an actual foreclosure announcement. This is what they look like. Notice of acceleration, notice of trustee sale, there's the date, there's the time of the sale, all of that stuff. This is what an announcement looks like. Good morning, Alan, good morning. Hear ye, we have thy foreclosure. That's what this document is. Every state has laws around it on how they announce these things. When I find this announcement in the list of the foreclosure auctions, the very first piece of information that I'm looking for is the debt. Everybody type D in the chat. This is the time that you slap your D on the screen. D! On the chat. D. Lots of D's flying around. D. 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 Yeah. Lots of them. You're looking for the debt amount. So, notice of acceleration, notice of, debt. So, in this situation, I don't know if you can see it from your screen over here, but check this out. It says right here, can y'all read that? I know it's like good quality camera, but I don't know if you can read that. That's why I put it up here. The original debt amount was $54,000. That's when they bought this property. $54,000 is the debt balance on that. So what happens at a foreclosure auction is the lender, the bank, JP Morgan National Bank, Rocket Mortgage, Mr. Cooper, Wells Fargo National, whatever, they get first bid on the transaction. So they're going to bid $54,000. Then that's our opportunity to go bid above that. Do I want to buy this property? So let's jump over to this screen over here, and I'll show you. So we're looking for, when I find the list of foreclosures, I then want to find the debt. What is the debt amount on this transaction? The debt that we found is $54,000. Oh my gosh, what is that? $54,000. Cool. That's what it's going to cost me to get into the deal. JP Morgan National Bank's bid $54,000. Do I want to bid more? Let's go find out. Now what I'm going to look for is what? In the comments, if I've got good D, if I walk around and I got good D, what am I looking for? What do I want to pair with D? It's one letter. What's the first letter of the thing I'm looking for? What is it? 50 shots? I'm looking for the V. If you've got good D, you want to pair it with V. Everybody type V in the chat. Great V, that's right. The better the V, the better for me. V. A nap? What? No, we don't want a nap. Value. What is it worth? If I've got debt and my opening bid's $54,000, what is the value of this bad boy? No, Matt, no. The value. What is it worth? So let's go find out. Let's go see what the value of this guy would be. So we walk over here. I have the announcement. From the announcement, I'm going to take information from this. I'm going to take the address of the property. And there's a variety of different sources that you can go to. You can pull comps in the area, find similar bedroom, bathroom square footage. You can call real estate agents. You can jump on Zillow. or you can go to the county appraisal district, whatever you want to do. The county appraisal district says this thing's worth $277. Is that accurate? I don't know. I'm just trying to ballpark this in the beginning. $277,000 is my estimated value. My debt was $54,000. This sounds mind-boggling. What are we really talking about here? Anthony, if you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time and we learn how to buy assets that produce profit. Right now, the specific asset that we're talking about is foreclosures. If you want to learn how to find and evaluate foreclosures in 5 steps or less, that's what we're talking about. If you want to learn how to get financially free in 7 years or less, just come up here and tap on the follow button. I go live all the time. Good morning. So apparently, the value of this asset is $277,000. I don't know if that's true. We're going to verify that information. But if it is true, what is my potential profit? Let me know in the comments. 277 minus 54 equals what? Huh? What does it equal? 277 minus 54 equals, that's me trying to do math. Let me know in the comments. 223. 223 with the squat. Do we like this deal? Yes or no? Huh? Do we like the deal? Yes? No? If you buy an asset and it produces you a profit of $223,000, hypothetically, should we continue researching the deal? Not sure yet. Yes? 223? I'm in. I like it. Yes, so far. Huh, some of you have been around a little while. That's my potential profit. Baby, I'm in. I dig it. Can you dig it? I love it. 223. Let's do this thing. But wait. Ha. Before I do this, we need to go look for liens. Everybody type L in the chat. This is the thing that can get you 50 shots nose. We appreciate, smile a while, happy to get, we can dig it. Let's go, Shelly. I want to look for liens. Now, if you didn't know this, a lien is a debt. Can you dig it? Let's go, Alan. Lien is a debt is a lien. If I hire a contractor to renovate my bathroom and I don't pay that final invoice, he can put a construction lien, a contractor's lien, a mechanic's lien on my house. What that means is there's debt that I owe him, and when I sell my house, he would get paid first and I would get paid next. So if I'm going to buy a foreclosure, I need to look for liens. In the comments, let's see if you're paying attention. Where do you think I would go? Type the corresponding number. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Type the number in the chat. Where would I go to find liens? Let me know. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Which number would I go to? What if there's 2 title liens, rural development, and lender out of Texas? Some of the liens may fall off. There may not be, like, to give you an example, we bought a foreclosure in Dallas, Luis and Collin County, Texas. It had solar panel liens on it. Solar panel company called him and said, hey, you need to give us some money. He said, you can pound sand. They said, oh, yeah? He said, yeah. If you want the solar panels, it's going to be in my front yard, but I'm not paying you a dime. Solar panel liens in Texas, it's going to vary by state, it's going to vary by law. Solar panel liens in Texas, he doesn't need to pay. If he didn't know that, he might have paid it. That creates another problem, but he never paid it. So certain liens fall off. It just depends. I need to get my eyes on it. But great question, boo-boo. So I need to look for liens. I'm going to go to the source. Who maintains property records in Texas? For me, that's the county clerk's office. When I get to the county clerk's office, I'm then going to look for liens, which is what we're going to do now. So I go to the county clerk's office. These are all the documents. The deed, it's the ownership document. It's who owns the property. The deed of trust, that's the contract saying there's debt on the property. Then there's a lien. I found it. I did some research before this TikTok live and I found the lien is 50 grand. So if I've got a $223,000 profit and the debt amount is $50,000, do we like that deal? Yes or no? What's our new potential profit? 223 minus 50 equals what? What's my new potential profit? 223 minus 50 equals, what do you think? I'm no math major. I don't know. I need your help. 223 minus 50, carry the 1, I before E, except after C, but not in neighbor. 173. $173,000 is our new potential profit. Do we dig it? Yes or no? $173,000 after we pay off the lien? Oh, that's not bad. Yeah? Huh? What? Huh? We like it? Yes or no? Still yes? So far, all right, all right. Well, as you know, we got to dig a little bit deeper. So I open up the lien document, and on the lien document, it says fire damage. Oh! Let's read the text. Big pencil time. Everybody whip out your pencils. Let's take a look at the tip. It says to mitigate all contents and structure after fire damage. After what? After fire damage. After fire damage, that's correct. There was fire damage on this property. They hired somebody to get rid of the fire damage, to mitigate it, to improve it, to fix it, to clean it up, to make it look nice again. They didn't pay that bill. So this may be unresolved. But let's get inventory of this really quick. Where there is fire, there is smoke. To put out a fire, you call the big strong firemen in their big red trucks, and they get out their big long hoses. When a fireman pulls out his hose, what does he squirt on the house? Let me know in the comments. When a fireman pulls out his hose, what squirts out of his hose? Water. Naturally. Naturally. What are you, Ayo, what are you talking about? When water goes on the house, now I've got fire damage, I've got smoke damage, I've got water damage. When water sits in a dark place, it grows. I'm just trying to get inventory of all the damages that I might have to work on and improve. Let me know in the chat. When water sits in a dark, humid place, it's going to turn into mold. Ah! So I could be dealing with a situation where I've got fire damage, smoke damage, water damage, mold damage, and it's been unresolved because they didn't pay the final invoice, and if they didn't pay the final invoice, maybe the work was never completed. And if the work was not completed, now it falls onto me to complete the work, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So for this type of deal, are we in or are we out? Let me know in the comments. For this type of deal, are we in or are we out? Let me know, chat. What do you think? We out! We out! Oh, gone! Adios! And these are the lessons that you want to practice. These. So just to give you a little context on this, I have no experience with fire mitigation. The closest I got to fire mitigation on a property that I purchased is I bought a property that had a lot of, the previous owners let their cats run wild in the top floor of the house. So there was a lot of ammonia smell, a lot of cat pee. So I had to hire a mitigation company to come in, and they did ozone treatment, they did certain paint types, and really almost got rid of it, but not quite. I don't know that I would take this on. I don't have a ton of experience with this. If I owned a fire mitigation company, and this is what I did, and I'm like, oh, piece of cake, then I might take on this deal. But I don't have experience on doing that, so I'm passing. Just like Jason, if I'm thinking about buying a diesel truck, I might go, oh. Jason's like, bro, hand me a diesel, I'll make it run. See what I'm saying? Cool? There's no real estimate that can be true to determine investment needed to fix. Just based on this information, yeah. But if you have enough information, then you can make an educated decision. But we don't have enough information. And I have no experience doing this. So I'm going to peace out, Girl Scout, on that one. Cool? Oh my gosh! Holy cow, Batman, we've covered so much ground. What if we count repairs and damage checking as part of your expenses? For sure. If you've got a $5 million potential profit and you calculate all your expenses on repairs and damage and all this stuff, and it comes out to $1, that's a deal we want to do. But I do want to factor in my repairs, my expenses, my improvements, my upgrades, all of the stuff. Have some cushion for the pushing, maybe 20, 30, 20%, whatever. Then I'm going to have that, and if I still like it, maybe I move on the deal. If I don't like it, I pass on the deal and I do lessons learned and I move on to the next thing. Chalk it up to education, rinse, wash, repeat. If you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time. If you want to hang out with us every day, come up here and tap on the follow button. I go live all the time and I teach my face off. If you didn't get a chance and you want my free tax savings audiobook, I will send that to you for free. There's a home by me that's foreclosed, 1-year-old, 2-story, 4-bedroom, can't find price. Step number 1 is I would go to the county clerk's office and I would look that up. See if you can find any old records on that. What's the remaining debt on the property? That's going to get you in a really good position. If you see the remaining debt on the property is $50,000, they haven't refinanced, and the house is worth whatever you said it was worth, $400,000. Good morning. Good morning. It's worth whatever it's worth. That's going to get you into a good part. Because, the debt is going to be the foundational stuff that you want to know. It's going to be the foundational stuff. Because that's going to get you into the ballpark. If I'm selling an asset and you know what I owe, then you kind of know where you need to start in negotiations. Make sense? Now, that has nothing to do with equity and what it's worth, but it's a good starting point. If you know nothing, I would start there. So if you didn't get a chance and you want to get access to my free tax savings audiobook, I send it to you for free. My name is Will. I teach a lot of stuff on money, but I do own a CPA tax firm, and I give away a ton of free information. So if you didn't get a chance to book a free tax call, I'm all out. I don't have any more availability, but I do have a ton of free resources. So if you send me a text message, my phone number, 737-510-2009. You see it up there? Text me the word tax, and I will send you my free tax savings audiobook. Text me the word tax. This is a text message, not in the TikTok chat. Send me a text message. My phone number is 737-510-2009. When you send me that text, it cues an automation. I will automatically send you my tax savings audiobook for free. Cool? Let me see if I can show you what it looks like from my side. Let's go here. So when you send a text message, let's see if this autofocuses. I sent the text of tax, and it automatically, nope, it's not really, automatically sends you, hey, right here, bam. Tap on that, it pops up, and then you have the tax savings audiobook. So if you want that, go do that now. But we're going to peace and grease. We're going to adios. We're going to get out of here. I hope you learned something today. Tomorrow we'll go through more asset acquisition. I've got some new stuff up my sleeve. And we'll get out of here. By the way, if you like these cool shirts, these are Forefathers. So if you're into the texting mood and you want me to send you a coupon code for these awesome, sweet polos, send me the text message POLO, and I'll send you a coupon, 20% off. Bye, Felicia. Bye. Just same number, 737-510-2009. Text me the word POLO, or it's in my TikTok profile. Go check those guys out. They're awesome. LJ, don't put tax in the chat. Send me a text message to my phone number, 737-510-2009. Cool? All right. We're going to peace. We're going to grease. We're going to adios. I'll catch you on the flip-flop lollipop. Give the dog a bone. Adios. You're welcome, John. No, don't be sorry. I'm just letting you know. All good. Don't be sorry. Send me a text message. All right. Adios. Peace.